Hello, beautiful people. Bonjour, mon amis, and welcome back to Shia's World. Today, I wanted to calm down, Angel. Today, I wanted to give you guys a hi. I wanted to give you guys a closer look on why. I'll take my glasses off. Sorry, there is a glare. Why I became vegan. I've talked about it a little bit in past videos, but I've never really given the details on what really brought me to this conclusion and if I was influenced by someone else or not. So I wrote my notes down because I wanted to make sure I touched on the important factors that led up to me becoming vegan. So first things first, it started back when I was in high school, a very long time ago. I came to my parents and told them that I wanted to become vegetarian, and they were confused because they were like, okay, where's this coming from? This is kind of random. So they asked like what all that entails. So I told them, I was like, well, I don't want to eat any more meat. I just want to eat veggies and soy-based burgers and whatever. So when we would go to the grocery store, I'd ask my dad if he could get the burgers, the sausage, the patties or links, bacon, ribs. I wasn't a fan of the hot dogs. I never liked corn dogs. It's too much bread. But things like that. So like if they had the little buffalo wings, then I get that too. So time went on. As I'm in high school, I'm still trying to refrain from eating meat. Now I still ate dairy products. I didn't really know of the other alternatives like the butters, the yogurt. Now I did change my milk. I was no longer drinking cow's milk. I was drinking soy milk at that time. Well, I stopped drinking soy milk and I went to almond milk. The reason I stopped drinking soy milk was some of their products, not the one that I was drinking, but some of their milks did contain coconut, even though it didn't say specifically coconut soy milk. Some of their cartons actually had coconut milk into the ingredients with the soy milk. So I pulled away from soy milk and I went to almond milk. So fast forward a few more years. Now I'm in the military, eating random stuff. I would prefer to eat the MREs than to eat the stuff that we had at basic training when we actually went into the dining halls. I'd rather eat an MRE. But I went back to eating meat. It was very, very hard to stay with a vegetarian lifestyle when I was literally the only one. There was like no one else amongst my friends, amongst my family. There was no one else I could talk to about it because I wasn't really in tune with, hey, I'm gonna YouTube and see, well, I'm gonna hop on YouTube and see who is vegetarian on there and kind of follow their guidance. I wasn't into that back then. I'm pretty sure, you know, there were vegetarians and vegans on YouTube, but that's not what I wanted to look at. If I was going on YouTube, it was for other educational purposes like surgeries, nature documentaries, and stuff like that. So I went back to eating meat. If I would get the MREs, I would try to go for the vegetarian ones. It is very hard to grab those. No one ever wanted it, so I always ate it and I enjoyed it. So I continued with eating regular meat. So we're gonna fast forward some more. Now I'm out of the military and I'm back on my own. I still cooked for myself. I cooked for myself while I was in the military. The barracks that I stayed in, we actually had a kitchen. Like, it was kind of like living in an apartment, but you had a roommate, and the only thing you shared was the kitchen and the bathroom. You had your own other living space, but we had a full kitchen, a full pantry, a full refrigerator. So I would still cook for myself. Now, I was more of like the healthier type. Like, I love to eat healthier foods. Unless it was like a major holiday, then yeah, I kind of picked out on whenever I wanted to. I made a lot, like I would cook big meals when I was in the military. Once I got out, I started shrinking my meals. Well, I tried to shrink my meals, how much I would cook, because I was used to cooking for me and my friends. But I continued cooking healthy foods, but I would still eat meat. I would eat turkey burgers, ground turkey meat for my spaghetti. I would eat fish, any type of seafood, basically. Sushi. I would eat, every now and then, I would eat some chicken. Every blue moon, I may eat a pork chop. I did eat steak. I did eat T-bone steak. But other than that, I kind of stuck with just eating vegetables, and I was full from just eating vegetables. There were times where I would also purchase the same vegan meats that I used to eat when I was in high school. I would get the burgers, I would get the sausage, I would get the bacon. Well, I was kind of iffy on the bacon. Sometimes it'll come out right, and sometimes it'll come out like, what the heck is this? So I was kind of iffy on the bacon, but I would still eat, you know, some of the vegan meats that I used to eat when I was in high school. So I started noticing, like, I started pulling away more and more from eating meats, and I just slowly just stopped eating meat altogether, minus seafood. I would still eat seafood. That was the only type of meat that I would actually eat. So I would just fix a soup. I fix a big pot of soup, and I make it for like about a week and a half. Now, I did not purchase the vegetable soup in the stores. This was before that I knew about milk being added into the vegetable soups they sell in the stores. I didn't like the vegetable soup they had at the stores because I don't like my carrots cooked. I don't like peas in my soup. I like to make my own soup, so I just skipped that whole process and just made my own. I made my own broth and I just went from there. So when I moved to Kentucky, I decided last year that I wanted to start the year out fresh. I wanted to go completely vegan. Now, it was easy for me because I have been going back and forth since high school. Now that I don't have to pretty much worry about the pressure of everyone else around me eating meat, like I'm the only one. I'm still basically I'm the only one in my family. I'm the only one at our churches. So it's like amongst my friends. Well, I have one friend, but we're not around each other like that. But I have one friend who is considering becoming vegan. So I have that going for me, but we're not around each other on a regular like I'm with my parents and like I'm with my church family. So I'm basically the only one around a bunch of non-vegans. But it's easier for me now because I can't do it because of other people. So what brought me to the conclusion of how I'm harming myself and how I'm harming animals was I used to get so emotional just watching nature documentaries and watching how poachers would hunt down these poor creatures just for their skin or as a trophy. They would hunt down and kill bears to get a rug, like cut the head off and just have the paws sprawled out like it. I would literally bawl my eyes out. Like, that did something to me on the inside, and I just could not take it anymore. I was like, what if, like, these other animals, I know I'm not out here eating lions and bears and everything else, but I'm not out here eating deer, but I know people do eat deer. I've never eaten deer, but I was like, all these other creatures I'm pretty much doing the same thing, except my trophy is I'm just gonna eat it and whatever. Well, I couldn't. I could not do that to myself anymore. So the nature documentaries that I would always watch, and I end up crying every time I would see someone hunt down an animal. Now it's one thing, you know, if if you were in a situation and you were physically being attacked, like you were literally in harm's way, and the only way to get out of that situation alive is to defend yourself. But this was not self-defense. These people were just going out. They wanted to go to Africa on a safari with these other people and shoot down a lion to stick his head on the wall. I couldn't do that. So I'm like, if I'm sitting here crying because of this, I wonder how all these other animals that I'm sitting here eating, the chicken, the turkey. I really wasn't big on ground beef, but I have eaten ground beef. I was like, all these cows and everything else that I put into my body, I wonder how they feel. So I didn't watch one of the graphic, detailed videos, or documentaries on veganism until later on down the road. And that was another eye-opener. I can't remember the name of the documentary that I watched, but that was an eye-opener. Once I seen how animals were tortured just so we can be fat and happy, but these animals are suffering. They're being taken away from their family. They don't get a chance to have a bond. A mother doesn't get a chance to bond with their young as soon as they're born because they're snatched away from them just to reproduce. At that point, I was like, I could not do this to animals. Like, they have feelings just like we do. Animals will mourn over their children, over their loved ones, just like a human being. I've seen it dozens of times, and looking at it makes me cry. It's not fair. It's not fair to them, and it wasn't right for me to partake in this. So I wasn't influenced by YouTubers who put the message out there. I did my own research. I would, like, after I watched that documentary, I went online and I just started looking for news articles. Well, not news articles, but like just articles in general on the benefits of vegetarianism or veganism. I needed to know. I needed to know more. After seeing all of this, I was like, I can't eat meat anymore. I just cannot do this to myself. So I did my own research and I found some information. I was like, okay. So last year I took that step. At the beginning of the year, it was not a resolution for me. It wasn't a diet plan for me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and be vegan for 30 days. That's no, I was like, no, this is not a New Year's resolution. This is something that needs to be done, and I've been working my way up to it. So now I can completely go full vegan. And I felt better since doing that internally. I've never had any issues, any heart issues. I've never had any issues with my cholesterol. I've never been diagnosed with diabetes or anything of that sort. I've never had any health issues in that manner. My issues stem from me being in the military. But outside of that, I started noticing like, yeah, I have more energy. I'm able to actually enjoy my workout. I'm not forcing myself to push through a workout. I can actually enjoy my exercises. I'm not harming any animals in the products that I am eating. So I started going on PETA's website. I would go on every vegan and vegetarian website to try and look up the mayo, the dressing, the salad dressings, the yogurt, the ice cream, the everything. I needed to just get rid of everything that was not vegan. So I would go to the grocery stores and I would search and search and search. Walmart is a lot harder to find things because Walmart is so unorganized. And it's not just the customers moving things and sticking it where it doesn't belong. It's the fact that, at least the Walmart here, when I'm looking for vegan items and I finally get in the section where everything is vegan or vegetarian, it's so unorganized because you'll see like the vegan chicken, like the buffalo wings, and you'll see like the vegan fish fillet next to that, and then you'll see like the vegan chicken strips, and then right underneath it is like regular chicken nuggets with Winnie the Pooh on it. I don't know what Winnie the Pooh has to do with some chicken nuggets, but they have like a bag with like Winnie the Pooh with chicken nuggets, and then right next to that is some regular fish, and then right under that, oh, here's some veggie burgers. It's so unorganized. That's why I hate shopping at Walmart when it comes to buying vegan meats. I prefer going to Kroger. At least Kroger keeps their vegan meats separate from their regular meats. Walmart, you need to fix that, please. Make it easier. Plus, at Kroger, it's more to choose from. At Walmart, the selection is literally right here. That's literally it. At Kroger, I can get so much more. I can get my cream cheese. I can get my sour cream. I can get my milk. Well, I mean, the milk is actually cheaper at Kroger. I can get the different milks. I even bought eggnog, but it wasn't eggnog. It was almond nog. It was made from almond milk. So for Christmas, I had eggnog, but vegan style. So I was, like Kroger has more to choose from. Kroger actually has the creamer that's made from almond milk. So it's easier to purchase things from Kroger because they have it all in the organic section. It's gonna cost a little more, but at least you can find what you're looking for. So when I initially told my parents that I wanted to be just full vegan and not just vegetarian, my mom was okay with it, like automatically. She was like, okay, well, she asked questions and I gave her the information, as I would with anyone. But like my dad, he was like, what is happening? Like he had to warm up to it a little bit more, because I guess my dad thought that it was me trying to be like someone else, or oh, this is gonna help me live longer or something like that, or it's just a diet, it's gonna pass over, it was just a little thing to get me to lose weight. I'm like, no, there are people who go on a vegan diet to lose weight, but for me it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I don't want to take innocent animals from their families just so I can enjoy them. No, once I, continue to explain and like educate my parents, they begin to understand more that it's not just a diet for me. This is who I am. This is who their child is. So I'm glad I took that step. I'm glad that I educated myself prior to doing this, because most people, they just get the information from another YouTuber or, oh, this person over here, because there are a lot of people who go, oh, well, I'm vegan because of so and so. That's the only explanation you have. It wasn't, oh, I'm vegan because this YouTuber is doing it. It's, I'm vegan because I don't want to harm animals. I don't want to take an animal away from their family to enjoy it, to put it on my wall as a trophy or anything like that. It's about my body, it's about the animals, and it's about the environment. Like, we spend so much time cutting down trees and taking away from their home, so they have no choice but to come in to our civilized areas, because we're cutting back so many trees to do what? To stick another hotel somewhere, or to stick another gas station that's right across the street from another gas station that's right up the street from 2 other gas stations that's across the street from 3 other gas stations. So for me, it was easier. It took some time for me to get over other people's feelings, because at the end of the day, it was how I was feeling about eating animals. It's not about how someone else is going to handle the situation. Now, yes, it can become very complicated for me for a couple of reasons. One, because when I go to church, I'm the only person who eats differently. I have to be very, very careful on what I'm picking up and putting onto my plate, and make sure there's no meat anywhere around it. So, one, I know there are black vegans out there. Where I live, I don't see any. So, yeah, when I go to church, it's like when they have a meal or anything else, I try to stick to like the green vegetables, as many vegetables as I possibly can. I know I can't eat the mac and cheese. I know I can't eat any of the other meats. Thankfully, because I'm the pastor's daughter, I sit at the pastor's table, so I can fix my own plate. I don't have to worry about a prefixed plate with food that I'm like, Mom, could you take off the chicken, the potato salad, the mac and cheese? Just about everything on the plate, minus this itty bitty little portion over here. So it's hard sometimes dealing with that, but I find ways to go around it. Like, if I know ahead of time that they're gonna have a meal at church, I'll fix something for myself here at home, and then I'll bring it to church, so I have my own meat to go with it, to go with a plate of vegetables. Now granted, my meat is still vegetables because it's from plants. So I'm still eating a plate full of vegetables, but one just happened to be in the form of meat. Another thing that's a little bit harder is actually, this is the hardest part of me being vegan, is the fact that I'm allergic to coconut. So I have to be very careful of the things that I eat and the things that I put onto my body. So I am slowly trying to be more cruelty free when it comes to products, when it comes to body lotions. Now, at one point I seen on Peter's website that Bath and Body Works was cruelty free. It's like it's on there, and then the next day you turn around, it's not on there. So I don't know, but a lot of things, shampoos, things like that, I have to be very careful with. If it's going on my skin, I will break out in a horrible rash. If I ingest it, my tongue will swell. So when it comes to vegan cheeses, vegan yogurt, I'm still searching for yogurt that does not contain coconut. I am still, whipped cream I can live without. I'm more concerned with the cheese and the yogurt. I want to try vegan cheeses that are coconut free. I've had one and it was disgusting. It did not melt. And I was like, nope, I can't do this. So it's very, very rare that I can actually find cheeses. Like I would love to try like mozzarella cheese for a pizza, stuff like that. Like I have Parmesan cheese, and even that becomes very hard for me because I have to make sure I look at the ingredients to make sure there's no form of coconut oil or milk in the ingredients. So that's like the only thing that's really hard for me being vegan, is eating at church. I don't really have a problem when I'm eating out at a restaurant, but it's mostly eating at church and the fact that I'm allergic to coconut. So it's some things that I cannot go completely cruelty free on when it comes to my shampoos, my conditioners, when it comes to things that are going into my mouth. I did find a toothpaste that did not have any coconut or anything. I have to look at ingredients, because if I'm gonna get cruelty-free toothpaste or cruelty-free deodorant or anything stuff to wash my clothes, I have to be very cautious, because if I am not, I could send myself into shock and I'm in the hospital. Why? Because it's vegan. Yes, I'm all for love for animals, but I also have to be wary of my own health. And I'm not going to put myself in harm's way and eat So Delicious ice cream or So Delicious yogurt just because it's vegan and now my tongue is swollen, or brush my teeth with vegan toothpaste just because it's vegan and there's coconut in there and now my tongue swells and I have blisters all in my mouth. I can't do that to myself, people. So I'm glad that I didn't go off of someone else's opinion. I came to this conclusion of myself. A lot of vegans take it too far when it comes to their message. I understand everyone has their own way of delivering a message, but some people take it too far. And had I turned to YouTube to discover more on veganism when I started, I never would have gone vegan. I would have been like, no, if this is what veganism is all about, I'm not doing this. Because some vegans can take it too far. And this is not directed at anyone. This is just vegans as a whole. We need to come together and find a way to spread the message of veganism in a more positive sight. We don't need, it's not about forcing this on someone. It's a choice. People are going to do what they want to do. They have to get to this point on their own. You can't force someone to be healthy. You can't force someone to do anything. You can look at someone all day and tell them 20 reasons why they should not eat bacon. And you can do it in a very militant way. Right after you finish that conversation, they're probably in their mind, while you're talking to them in a very harsh tone, they're looking at you like, man, I'll be glad when they shut up so I can go get me some bacon. What are they gonna do? Probably go get a bacon and cheeseburger with extra bacon. Why? Because they can. So it's not about beating it over someone's head. If you want people to know more about veganism, there are better ways to do it. Like we need to figure out a way within the vegan community to stop being so harsh, because people look at us and they're like, good Lord, is that what vegans do? All of us do not do that. That is exactly why I decided to take the approach that I'm taking on veganism. Like, I don't want anyone to look at me and go, oh dear God, here comes that crazy vegan again. She's just gonna shove it down our throats. As soon as she shuts up, we're gonna go eat a burger and be happy. It's not about that, people. It's educating people. You don't have to show them a documentary, you know, the very first time you meet them, like, hey, you know, you need to see how this creature is being tortured. A lot of times that's not going to change a person's mind. Educate them. Give them the verbal education. Then later on down the road, show them a video to educate them. You can leave out the extra graphic parts, but show them how these animals are cramped into farm areas and how they're mistreated. Show them that. Maybe that will help them to look at things in a very different way. Knowledge is power. So if you were considering becoming vegan, if you have a person who has questions about veganism, you have to do the research for yourself as well, because you can't just go based off of what someone else may say. I am not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I am none of that. I do my own research. I look up my information. I don't just go based off of what this person says, what this person says. Oh, this YouTuber said this. I can't. I have to do my own research for myself and know that what I am doing is going to be beneficial for my body, and I have all the information that I need. I'm not doing this because I'm like, oh, well, vegans are going to live forever. No, we were all born to die. So it's not a diet for me. It is not a phase I'm going through. It's not because, oh, well, it was trending on Twitter, and so like I just had this epiphany while I was on my way to Starbucks that, hey, after I drink this final caramel frappuccino, because that was my favorite. Oh, that was my favorite. That caramel frappuccino, I am going to stop drinking cow's milk. No, it wasn't really about that. So, you know, like you do your own research. If you want to watch some documentaries on how animals are treated, I will link them in the description box below. These videos are on Netflix. I'm pretty sure there are other places you can go to watch these videos, but I'll make sure I put the titles of each video in the description box below. Check it out for yourself. Do some research on your own. There are plenty of articles online that you can read. Don't just go based off of what someone else says. Don't let someone bully you or force you into doing something. This is a decision that you have to make on your own. It's going to be your choice. I can give you the tips that helped me and everything else. But at the end of the day, it's up to you whether or not you continue to eat meat. It's not going to hurt me. I'm not going to look down on you because you eat meat. I'm the only one in my family who is a vegan. I'm the only one at our church that is a vegan. My dog even eats my vegan foods. So, like, it's all about you. At the end of the day, it's all about what do you want to do. It's not about, well, Shia said to do this. It's not about what Shia says. Shia can give you the information and the tools to help you. But once you realize everything that goes on, it's still your choice. I mean, if you still want to continue to eating meat, drinking dairy, that is perfectly fine. That is your choice. I'm not here to judge you. But I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope it gives you more of an insight on why I chose this path, why I chose this approach on veganism. Some people may say that, oh, you're not going to get the point across. I believe that there's a calmer and a better way to spread a message. Even with Christianity, I'm not going to beat your head over with the Bible saying, oh, you're doing it wrong. I'm not going to do that. I will tell you about my life and being a Christian. I will tell you about my life and being a vegan. I will tell you about my life in general, but I'm not going to like knock you over the head and like, oh God, how dare you? You sinner and you murderer. I'm not going to do that. I cannot do that to someone. I'm a nice person. I'm a very humble person, and I hate when I see people bullied or pressured into something that they really don't want to do, and they don't know why they're doing the things that they're doing. If you're going to do something, make sure you have a purpose for doing it. But like I said, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it reaches out to someone out there who isn't vegan, and maybe, you know, give you a different look on things. And if, like I said, if you still want to eat meat, that is perfectly fine. I'm not here to judge you, but I just wanted to give a better insight on why I became vegan and what led me to this point, because I know I've talked about it in previous videos, but I never really sat down with you guys and like opened up to you and told you why I came to this conclusion. Now, I am single. I have not prayed for a relationship. I'm happy. I really am. After my last relationship, I was like, no, I'm done. I was over it. But I will say this. If I do decide to pray for a relationship, I will make sure that I pray hard to good Lord, please Jesus, let him be a vegan. For the simple fact, it's not that, oh gosh, here I am, I have to buy regular meat and my meat. It's not even that. I would prefer to date a vegan because it would make my life so much easier, where we can both eat and have a meal together, and I'm not worried about, oh Lord, what's my husband gonna eat, a regular steak? I guess I eat my vegan steak so we can have something to sit down and discuss. I don't really want to deal with that. So right now I'm at the point in my life, my main focus is my education, my psychology degree, my ministerial training, and making YouTube videos. I'm really not looking for a relationship. I am happily single, but you know, whenever that time, if I ever get to that point, I may never get to that point where I'm just like, oh Lord Jesus, please Lord, let me have a man, Jesus. the most that I would probably, you know, pray for is just a male friend, just someone that I can hang out with that is a vegan, and we actually have a little more to talk about, because sometimes it does get a little boring because I can't really go, hey mom, dad, you know, this is so good. I mean, my mom, she has tried my apple pie that was vegan, and she said it was really good. But when it comes down to like the other foods that I eat, I don't really have anyone to eat with me. So it's just, that's the, you know, the only thing. It does become a little lonely when it's, you know, about eating meats and like kind of comparing and stuff like that. I don't really have anyone to compare with because everyone else around me eats meat. So I don't know, it's just me and my dog. But I really hope that this helps someone out there, whether you are vegan and you were kind of struggling and someone else kind of pushed you to become vegan. Make sure you're doing it for yourself, not for someone else. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, make sure you click on my picture here in the corner and subscribe. If not, you can click on my picture right over there. Make sure you check out my latest videos. It will be right over here. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you beautiful people in my next video. Bye.